I'm delighted to be holding in my hand a copy of the 2024 Irish Dresser and Folklore calendar. And this year, this is the fourth year, and this year we actually have QR codes to different things like interviews, tutorials, and recipes, etc. But basically, the project is based around the humble dresser, and the dressers that feature in it are kind of dressers that I would have photographed in different counties around the country, and would have photographed owners and sometimes just the dressers themselves, recorded their stories, and during each month then I'd also put down little folklore dates, Irish folklore dates about when little things to do around little Christmas or Nullig Demon, when the full moons are, things around even St. Bridget's Day, and gathering your rushes then for on St. Bridget's Eve. And this year, as you can see, I've also included QR codes, and you can see QR codes here. Well, if you click on those, whatever, they'll bring you to like an article I may have written on, say, the RTE website about St. Bridget in spring, or also here you can hear a story about St. Bridget, a lovely story from Bridget Tunney in Donegal. So each month what I have is I've got new dressers, new stories. This is a neighbour of mine, Dan Doyle, up here in Ballindagan. And again, folklore dates, some of the same ones I would have had in other years, but also some new ones. And as I said, what I've done this year is I've put in the QR codes, so you can actually go hear Dan talk about his dresser, or you can go down here and you can hear see a tutorial and that I would have on how to make St. Bridget's crosses, how to make a standard St. Bridget's cross, Driscoll cross, a 12 rush cross, or the standard cross. And then you can also read the bits and pieces about the dresser here. So each month you have different stories. This is one of my favourite stories actually. It's a woman called Anne Russell in Tipperary. It's a great story about a haunted dresser. I'll just flick over here and you'll have some very old dressers and some not so old dressers, but the stories behind them are what's really, really important. This is a great story about a couple who bought his house in Meath, and this was thrown out in the shed, and the couple that owned it was made for them as a wedding present, so they brought it in and gave it a new home, and put their own stuff on it, and also put little bits and pieces from the previous owners on it as well. So lovely little stories like that. And as you go through them, so you have dressers from Meath, you got dressers from Carlow, Tipperary, Waterford, and also here in Wexford. This is one of my favourite ones. It's a photograph that I would have taken many years ago, but it's a man's dresser, and you can see there, you can see all the plates, and you can see the lovely, he kept the silver plates from the apple tarts in it, and again QR codes there when the different full moons are. So it's a great calendar. A lot of people actually say they use it during the year. A lot of school teachers will use it during the year. They'll have it in the classroom, and basically then whenever they're kind of get an overview of different customs and little sayings and things like that, even little dates here, whatever you'd have, like saying for the month of July, you'd have things like a date would be to tell you when to dig your spuds. Back in the month of June, was the 29th of June, was the one down more in the southern part of the country. But once you got up into North Leinster and up into Ulster, there was a lovely little saying where it says, a day to dig the new spuds for many northern counties. Plant with Paddy and dig with Billy. What a great saying that is. And then you have all different names like Frockin Sunday and Reek Sunday and Garland Sunday and all things like that. So that's what the calendar looks like. Also, you can see as well, the punch hole is up here. It's a lovely punch hole. Last year I noticed I was disappointed myself. The punch hole was a little bit too tight to the edge, and I even had to fix up my own one. I only noticed that about March last year when the pages started to rip a little. So this year I made sure that I redesigned it so that the punch hole would be in a good centimetre, so that won't happen again. So here's lovely. This is Grace O'Mara's dresser in County Waterford. Another fantastic dresser from County Offaly, Maureen Carl's dresser. Isn't it just fantastic? And just the whole scene is just fantastic. The St. Bridget's Cross and Maureen in her house coat. And again, all the little dates there, all those little dates are different, little things telling you about when the swallows begin to gather and when they begin to leave us for the winter. This is another neighbour of mine's dresser. There's two dressers from Wexford in it. This is Derek Warren's dresser up the road, but it's a dresser and also the old cabinet. It's just fantastic, And as I said, there's a bigger publication coming in time, but in the meantime, this is what really, really works, and it's been working for this is the fourth year, and every year I sell out, and that's which to me is a great testament for the calendar, and as I said, I'm adding more and more little bits every year. It's a gorgeous dresser, by the way, from County Meath. Again, it was a new dresser, and it's interesting as well because sometimes you have the really old ones, but also you have the new ones, and it's the stories behind the new ones which I always find interesting. Tara's brother who made this, there's a lovely kind of family story to that. And again, loads of different things here. One thing to point out as well, actually, I have included loads of little new dates from new communities living in Ireland about the Feast of St. Nicholas or St. Barbara's cherry tree. There's a little taken a bit. It's a lovely tradition you get from Germany, but I see a lot of it, that it's done here now in Ireland. And one person contacted me, said that she bought a copy for herself, a school teacher in Cork, and she said she also bought a copy for her Polish students, because said it's the first time she's ever noticed that her Polish traditions are recognised in the Irish kind of folklore calendar. And as I've been saying for years, there's more that connects us than divides us, and it's what's great as well, as we can see so many of our traditions are cross-European, and some of them are actually cross-global in some ways. So there it is. There's the calendar. You can buy them on my website, thedresserproject.ie, or on Folklore.ie. So you can buy them in either way. I'm using the paying system called Stripe, so it accepts all credit cards. And I also accept postal orders or checks, or if you want to meet me and pay me in cash, you can do that also as well, whatever, because I know some people don't use online. But most people I find are using online for these orders. And I ship everywhere in Ireland and also everywhere around the world. Again, I'd say 1/5 of my orders go overseas, go to Canada and the United States in particular. So they cost €15 plus postage. There's €3 postage for anywhere in Ireland. That's for all calendars, and then whatever the costs are, then the on-post costs are then for the international postage. So listen, thanks a million, and I'd love you to buy a copy. I've only got a limited run this year. I didn't do as many as I did last year, because I'm also working on a new book, and I want to basically get this under control and get as many of these sold and wrapped up before Christmas. So I'd be really appreciate if you'd want to buy a copy and support the work and support the project, and you won't be disappointed, because it's a lovely thing to have, and a lovely thing to have during the course of the year. So thanks a million.